let's go to Des Moines, Iowa, where we have a message from Hannah and Chase.
My name's Hannah.
And my name's Chase.
And we're here stuck in home in Des Moines, Iowa from college. And recently, our parents have been getting really creative and making really some yummy, delicious meals in the kitchen. And we're wanting to give back. But we're still on a somewhat college budget and only claim college culinary skills. And we're wondering if you had any ideas. Please let us know what you think.
Thanks.
I think college culinary skills, they're nothing to sneeze at.
I don't know what they mean by college culinary skills. Like, do they mean like, oh, we're really good at going to get burritos?
Well, what's funny is I always, like college, until I started cooking in a restaurant, I have this joke where I'm like, oh, college, that was my cheese and carbs phase, where it was like pizza, quesadillas, grilled cheese, mac and cheese.
Okay, that is my kid's lunch every day, so let's not mock it.
But like I said earlier, I do think constraint is a gift in the kitchen. And so if, you feel limited because all you know how to do, let's say, is to use a slow cooker or to make something with a cheese and a carb, then make something with a cheese and a carb or use a slow cooker. I don't think you have to all of a sudden, be educated in the culinary arts to be able to produce a meal that people are going to appreciate right now.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think if it's like they're helping,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they, make a simple vinaigrette and make the salad for the night, and definitely do the dishes. To your point, if college culinary skills mean like cheese, pasta, and we know how to open beer, like go ahead and make mac and cheese for dinner that night, and I'm sure everyone will be psyched about it.
Yeah, totally. And a couple ideas, I think, for things if you want to, I don't know, learn something new or just challenge yourself. What I've seen on the internet happening right now is something I have not personally yet been inspired enough to do this, but I do think it's a great time for people who have been curious about making bread. And I think the no-knead bread and the no-knead doughs are a great place to start.
Yes.
So those recipes abound on the internet, and, a loaf of fresh, crusty bread right now is a luxury, I think. Like today I found one at the grocery store. I was like, jackpot! Because that's something that, can be turned into, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And then once it gets stale, you can turn it into so many other things. Like I'm going to use some crusty old bread for my meatballs and ribollita soup. So I think you don't need to necessarily think about how do I produce a whole meal or take care of a meal plan for a day or a week, as much as how do I just add to my family's, pantry and our larder.
Yeah. Yeah. And something like ribollita is awesome because it is a way, again, right now, if a lot of people are trying to stay home as much as possible and not go to the store super often, stale bread cooked into like a bean soup, a little bit of tomato, it thickens the soup. It turns it almost into a porridge.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Porridge is like the saddest word because for such a delicious, comforting food, it sounds so gross. Like that word porridge is like, ugh. But it's almost like a polenta, right? Like you just cook the bread into it until it smooths out a little bit and you splash some olive oil on top and it's just yummy. And it's
man, it's so good. And the best ribollita I ever had is from this restaurant outside of Florence called Da Delfina. And what they do is they take this soup, which is like a bean and kale and bread soup that is so thick because they put so much bread in it that you really eat it with a fork and not a spoon. And they take their ribollita, which is day old, and they fry it in a frying pan on both sides. And so you get this incredible browning, like this beautiful sort of pancake.
Oh God, that's incredible.
It's like a soup pancake, a bean and soup pancake. And so it's served on a plate and not in a bowl and with a fork. And so if you were to somehow, look how I went straight from you guys don't need to do anything. But
okay, here's this 9-step dish using old bread that you first
I
made.
would like you to attempt. But that kind of is like the weird slope of this sort of everlasting cooking that we're doing. Suddenly your can of beans or your pot of beans, your weird crusty bread, your kale stems that maybe you weren't going to mix into anything else, that cabbage that's been in the back of the fridge for a while, a couple potatoes that are sprouting eyes, all that stuff, and a can of tomatoes turns into this amazing soup that you can then pan fry.
And even if you don't pan fry.
Yeah, it's so good. All right, hit me with another one.
Okay. Thank you, Hannah and Chase. Hope that helps. Again,
Thanks, Hannah and Chase.
the TLDR version is do the dishes and maybe make the salad or make the bread. Or if you need to make quesadillas, do it. Because I'm sure your parents would love a night off.